Hello and welcome to Jacobs Toys. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, all of those things, and do check out the website jacobstoys.co.uk. So today we are taking a look at action figure photography. Now this is a recent picture that I took of the Hydra Stomper figure from Marvel's What If. This was a picture that I took myself on my camera and I recently uploaded to my Instagram account at Jacobs_toys. You can check it out. Now I do not class myself as a top photographer in any sense of the word, but people have asked me how I achieve the look that I do achieve. But it's just worth pointing out that I don't use Photoshop at all in my pictures. They are all fully tangible. So hopefully this video will give you a bit of an insight into that. So this is a bit of a sped up video, but basically I have quite a small area to work with. What I do is I just put down a little bit of wallpaper. So this is just cheap wallpaper that I got from, I think it was from a charity shop to be perfectly honest with you, for like 10 pence or something like that. Nothing special, but I put that down as like a protective layer. Just sellotape that down, as you can see here, just to create myself a bit of a space. Now I don't do this with all the photographs that I do, but this particular one, because I use sand, I did, mainly because it's just easier to tidy up at the end as well. It protects the surface that you're using, and also it's a lot easier to tidy up. You just take the tape off and you can pour that sand back in. So I give myself an area that's bigger than what I was hoping to photograph. I've got a couple of printed out backgrounds, so these are just printed out on A3, just colour A3 printouts. This is a kind of cosmic one, but I use that for a different photo, not for the Hydra Stomper. So I'm just going to swap it over now. So this is just one that I got off of Google, and I believe it's Spider-Man because you can see the Daily Bugle there. But it's just a good kind of, destruction scene in the background. Just be aware that the light does reflect off of these, so use them sparingly and use them as background images, not as a main focus of the photograph itself. Now this is just play sand that I picked up from like toys, kids toy shop. Just your regular play sand. I'd recommend using this as opposed to builder's sand, because builder's sand can come with a handful of problems. It can be quite sharp. The colour can actually bleed from the sand as well, so it can actually damage the figures. So use toy sand, like kids toy sand. This is you're just moving it around a bit, and this is simply just a brick. So I've got a handful of bricks, handful of like stone bricks that would be used in building a wall or a house, just left over from the garden, and I just kind of position them in a fashion as such, just to create like a corridor. And I just find that the bricks are really good. I mean, there are some really good ways of kind of creating artificial stone, using foam and painting techniques and stuff. I just find using actual bricks for some photographs works really well. They can double up as rooftops or walls, etc. This is just a light here that I put at the back. Now this is a Lume Cube light, one of my Lume Cube lights. Now Lume Cube is quite an expensive version of lights to use, but they are really good. So this one is, I think it's just like an RGB light, I think it's called, but it just projects a nice flat colour out of it. I can change the colours on it as well, but obviously I've just got red here, and then these are your standard typical Lume Cube cubes. I've got two of them, and they come with like a handful of different filters, so I can put different colours on. The one on that one there is just a yellow and red together, and then this is another one down here with just kind of a tint on it. Just have a look at it from the front. So I'll just make the sand look a little bit realistic, just kind of make sure there's no fingerprints in it, etc. And then that's the setup essentially. Now obviously the photograph did look a little bit different, because once I put the figure in, I noticed that the bricks weren't as tall as the figure, so I just mixed it around here and created like a doorway with like a rooftop. Now obviously you've got to make sure that they are stood up and secure, because obviously you don't want them falling down on your figure, because they're bricks, they will damage the figure. I'll just put them in this pose. This is it, simple pose, just kind of coming out through the door. And there we go. And so if you have a look at the photo, there we go. Now I have used a fog effect here. Now there are so many different ways of creating a fog effect. I've seen people use vape pens. I've seen people use incense. You can actually get fog in a can. I've tried all the different methods and they all work very differently. I believe that this was an aerosol can in this particular shot, like a fog in a can, aerosol can, like mist in a can. I think they're all called different things. There's different brands that do them, but they do work quite well. The actual camera settings that I used were these, so you can see 1/50, f 5.6 and the ISO of 200. If I'm honest though, I change these as I go, so I do mess around with the ISO and stuff. The one thing I would say is use manual mode, always shoot in manual mode. Now I use the same setup for the Crow figure, just changed the lighting and obviously the figure, and got this picture as well, and then an alternative version was this one. So obviously it's very versatile. You can see the difference here, that changing the background, changing the light settings, and changing the figure as well can make a very big difference. So those bricks and the sand is quite a versatile backdrop, so it's quite cheap to obviously obtain, and it does make a huge difference. But yeah, so that is the kind of rundown, if you like, of my stuff. Please do subscribe, obviously, if you're enjoying the channel. It's very much appreciated. Hopefully this video has been useful and given you a bit of an insight into how to achieve a semi-decent photograph. Any questions, then please do pop them in the comments. Oh, yeah.